very small for the type of game they were making.
Yeah.
And so being the number one game developer for Unreal Engine, they took the idea and basically put it in their own game and became a better game.
Yeah.
Right?
I think that, like, and I'll say this as a designer, like, we know that a lot of people borrow, a lot of game ideas get repurposed, recycled, or reinvented in new software. I have no problem with that. Where I always was, like, laughing was
the timing.
Our game starts on this, airplane. You parachute out of the airplane and you land on the map. And then the Fortnite version was, well, our game starts on a bus blimp.
Yeah.
You parachute out of the bus blimp and then you land on the map. And I was like, oh man, so you can't hide the fact that you were inspired.
Well, there was
you know what I mean?
There was a few coincidences, right?
Yeah,
because when it happened, right? PUBG was in early access for a while until December of whatever that year was. And then Fortnite came out with their mode 2 months later.
Yeah.
So they didn't even give them enough breathing room to be in a public release.
Yeah.
Like a gentleman, all right? And actually give them like 6 months to actually enjoy that period of being in public release and enjoy the monies flowing in. Yeah. So not just that, they went out 2 months later, and anyone that has any inkling of how game development works, that game took about a year to get to where it was, right? That means while they were helping PUBG in early access, they were developing this, coinciding with that development, knowing full well day one they will be a competitor. It just seems too much of a stab in the back in front.
And that's the part, I guess, that I always sided on the Blue Hole. I always sided with Blue Hole just in ethics.
Yeah.
I didn't think that it was. I didn't think how it was done was like right. I thought that it was. I disagreed. Basically, I disagreed with how that game was rolled out. Am I happy the game exists? Hell yeah. I think it's a fun game. I see it's a cultural phenomenon.
Yeah.
And everything good about it is still good about it. So I won't ever take that away.
Yeah.
But I was one of the people who was like, oh man, it could have been a better way.
Yeah.
There could have been a better way that would have not shown other developers that the engine company might take what you make and then enjoy it for themselves. And I think that was the shock for me, is the like, oh damn.
I didn't know. Yeah. Didn't know you can do that.
I've never seen an engine company do something like that.
Yeah. And Unity, of course, took swipe at it. Everybody was kind of like pointing that out in public. I mean, it was too obvious of a move. The little similarities, like you jumping out of a bus versus you jumping out of a plane.
Plane.
Yeah. I mean, there was just obviously borrowing elements that they felt was successful.
It's that old
applying
meme.
To their own.
Yeah, you can copy my homework. Just change it a little so the teacher doesn't know.
Yeah, man. It's just, I think it would have been a fair game, even if they did all that, to at least give PUBG 6 months. You know what I mean? After public release, to at least give them that. Because the thing that I commented when it happened was, at least make it look like the idea just came to you, right? Not like you were developing while helping this development team. 6 months to a year is fair game. And that is coincidentally when all the other Battle Royale games started to click, because that is when they saw the success, and that is when they started to incorporate. Yeah, and even with Battlefield, Call of Duty, it took them about 6 months to 8 months to kind of incorporate that mode and make it bug-free, right? 2 months.
Bug-free?
Well, bug-free-ish.
That's a low blow.
But like 2 months, dude, 2 months, that's insane.
I feel like Fortnite just did it better though.
Yeah, Fortnite definitely did it better. It was like as if they are a bigger established company with a lot more
money,
seasoned developers.
More developers, yeah.
Seasoned developers, right? Being able to copy and paste faster. It's weird how that works.
Could you imagine
how a corporation can do that much faster than an individual?
Let's all go back to high school. For some of us, that might have been more recent than others, but let's just go back to high school. Remember those group projects where it was like, all right, we're all going to work on this term paper together or whatever, right? Yeah. And so you guys are busting your ass working on this term paper. And then all of a sudden, the day before you present, one person in the group goes to the teacher, presents it as their own game, takes everyone else's name off of it, right? And then that person gets an A, and then you guys get a C, because people are like, wait, we've heard all this information before. Michael did it by himself.
Yeah.
You know, Michael gets the A, you guys get the C. How would you feel?
Yeah.
I feel pissed.
Yeah.
I legitimately feel like we worked together on this product, and now you're taking advantage of all of that before we can take advantage of it as the company who has come to you using your engine, paying your tax, paying your engine tax, right? Because we're making money now, we have to abide by what we agreed in the contract, which was over a certain amount, we're going to make sure you get paid this. So we're paying you, we're developing the game with you, so now you have a heads up. And then you still took it and made your own thing, which you don't then pay us for. I don't think Epic ever paid a cent to Bluehole for Fortnite, ever.
No.
I don't think so at all.
No. What was funny was PUBG was still paying 5% royalty.
Yeah.
After it being stolen from them.
Yep. So they still pay the royalty for.
Yeah. But today's topic is about burying the hatchet, right? So obviously, being number 2 is never a bad thing. They're obviously successful in their own way.
Hey, I may not be McDonald's, but Burger King money is still pretty
exactly.
good.
So that's the situation that they're in right now. Both Fortnite is thriving and never looking back, and PUBG has its own faithful and loyal audience that I think in the marketplace it's very still unique, right? It's a consistent world. All the other Battlefields and Call of Duty, they're always restarting their formula, right? Every installment. And so PUBG at least have the advantage of having a consistent marketplace to continue. And we talked about a few games recap ago that Glenn Schofield has been brought into the fold. And so the PUBG universe is only getting stronger from this point forward, and I look forward to it. Out of all the Battle Royale, I enjoy at least looking at PUBG because it's more grounded, right? It's more modern shooter. It's guns that I'm familiar with. None of the sci-fi stylistic stuff. I just want to get in the game and shoot, and it feels better, right?
Like the boxing glove gun?
Yeah. It's like it's just too much for me, right? As a traditional first-person shooter, like PUBG is still having that appeal. It's just too buggy, right, at this point. And if they are bringing on great talent to kind of bring that AAA formula to it, I think it has a chance to actually really claim its piece of the pie, which is always hundreds of millions, right? These guys are doing just fine.
Yeah, I'll look at it this way. And I do complain about when people do this because I'm going to be very hypocritical right now, but again, I'm just going to reiterate, like if we were to take all the other games off the table and just look at the revenue that PUBG generates and then ask a developer, do you want to be part of this or no? They're going to, of course, right? Like it still makes a ton of money. Now, rightfully speaking, they might have felt like they deserve more. They definitely didn't deserve the way that the partnership went between Epic and Bluehole. So like I can understand why the lawsuits came about. But I can also understand now where things are to just be like, look, we're just going to, you know what, we may not win this one in court, or it's going to take resources to win this in court. What do we really get out of it? Like the industry already is where it is. Fortnite's not going to get pulled off the marketplace just because Bluehole tries to sue or get some sort of damages out of it.
Yeah, they try to.
None of that stuff is going to change anything.